Hello, this is Shondra with Raising the Barn Real Estate, where we go the extra mile in providing you pertinent and fun facts about today's industry. So last week we wrapped up the home buying video process, and I hope that you walked away with more knowledge than you did before you started watching those videos. However, this week we are going to talk about credit, and the reason being is because yesterday we had a phenomenal free credit lunch and learn. It was hosted by CMG and Rock Title, and it was a packed house, and it gave so much information about, impacting your credit scores, what to do to help your credit scores, that I actually just wrote some notes down because I want to pass it on to you. So first off, what is a credit score? Well, it's a number given to you that represents your credit worthiness. Lenders can use credit scores to determine if you qualify for a loan. All right. Now we know that credit is ran on almost everything, from mobile phone companies to insurance companies to landlords to car dealerships, mortgages, jewelry stores, home improvement stores, etc. Now, what is an actual credit score or a FICO score? Now, FICO is just short for Fair Isaac Corporation. All right. But it is a numerical breakdown that is going to be broken down in these categories. So if you have a credit score between 300 and 599, you are considered to have bad credit. If your credit score is between 600 and 649, you are considered to have poor credit. Now, with these two brackets, normally they will only allow secured loans or credit cards. All right. Now, what does secured mean? Well, if you want a credit card, they may give it to you, but if they may start you out with a small credit line extension, maybe like $200. Now, you may also have to pay into that or pay them for that line of credit. So for instance, if you get a $200 line of credit, they may ask that you put down $50 to give you a $200 line of credit. All righty. So a secure credit card is very good for people that do not have any credit, poor credit, or little credit, because it establishes credit with you and you're able to raise up your credit score in a short amount of time. All right. The next numbers are 650 through 699. Now, if you have these numbers, you are considered to have fair credit. Then we move up to 700 to 749, which is good credit. All right. Now, in these brackets, you're going to be eligible for better rates and better loans, but it's going to vary, by case scenario. The next number bracket is 750 to 799. Now, that's considered very good credit. And lastly, 800 to 850, and this is considered excellent credit. Now, with these two brackets, you're going to get the lowest interest rates with the best terms. Now, how do these numbers apply when getting a home? Well, depending on what type of loan you qualify for, whether if it's a FHA, a conventional, a VA, it's going to be pretty significant. Because see, FHA loans are backed by the government. So you can have a credit score of only about 580 as long as everything else is in order, you'll be able to purchase a home. Now, with conventional loans, since they are not backed up by the government, they usually require a 620, 640, maybe even a 660 credit score. All right. So you have to understand that even though you may have these credit scores, you need to always be on your job for at least 2 years. You have to have money like, for your EMD, and your EMD is going to be, your earnest money deposit. You're going to need money for taxes, insurance, inspections, and appraisal, right? Now, again, as I mentioned, there are a lot of programs, grant programs that will assist you in the down payment and closing costs of your home. But that is not the same as your EMDs, taxes, interest, so on and so forth. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I know I have bad credit, but they've never actually taken the time to see what's on their credit report, nor do they actually know what is their credit score. The government has a free website called annualreport.com that you're able to go on once a year to run your credit report with all three bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Now, it doesn't give you your credit score, but at least you will know what is on your credit report, right? So that way you can start getting things taken care of. So when you're, wanting to buy a home in the future, you can already make preparations. Now, if you've had bankruptcies, there are going to be requirements that you have to have, and you have to wait to be eligible for a home purchase or a repurchase. And without getting into too much detail, because, I'm not a credit expert, if you have Chapter 7s, it could be 4 years, 2 years, or 3 years from the date of discharge, depending on which loans you are applying for. Now, for Chapter 13s, it can be 0 to 4 years. If you had a foreclosure or a short sale, there are time requirements as well. All right. Now, real quick, what hurts a credit score? Missed payments can drop your credit score by 90 to 110 points. So every time you miss a payment, it can drop your credit score. Also, maxing out your credit card can drop it by 25 to 45 points. So please do not max out your credit cards. As a matter of fact, use only 30% of that amount that's on the credit card. And what I do is, because I really wasn't a credit card person, but I did it, years ago to get credit established. What I did was I kept $1 on my credit card. That way I can keep the history of that credit card. Because what happens is if you pay that credit card off, all that good history goes away. So at least just keep $1 on there to keep you some good history for your credit card. Collections, judgments, and repos can drop your score by 105 to 125 points. Foreclosures can drop them by 140 to 160, and bankruptcies by 200 points. Lastly, it takes a lot of time for your credit score to recover when you are late, especially on mortgages. Now, a bankruptcy, for instance, if you have a bankruptcy and your credit score was, say, maybe like 680 before you had the bankruptcy, it can take 5 years for your score to get back to a 680. So we really have to be careful. Now, if you are considering purchasing a home and you may not know what your credit looks like or your credit score, is, and you may need help, for getting grants or just information, period, you can always connect with me and contact me at my information that I'm going to give at the end of this post. Now I want to go into what's happening in Las Vegas, because as you know, what happens in Vegas does not have to stay in Vegas. We get to share it with everyone. Last week, I went through the numbers, I believe 6 through 10 for the biggest bills in Vegas. Now I'm going to do 11 through 15. All right, so starting at 11, we have the Google Data Center, and it's going to be located in Henderson. It is still expected to come, but they are going through the process. But it's going to be $600 million, and it should be completed by December 2020. Alrighty. Number 12, we have the Caesars Forum Conference Center. That's going to be about $375 million. It is still under construction, and they say it's going to be ready by spring 2020. Next, we have the UNLV Medical School building. That's going to be $230 million. They already have that plan, and it should be open by late 2021. Then we have the I-15 and Tropicana interchange reconstruction. All right, so more construction. Yes, more construction. It's going to be about $200 million. It's already planned, and it should be done by 2024. And then we also have, lastly, the Hard Rock Hotel rebrand and renovations. That's going to be about $200 million. It's also planned, and it's going to be ready about fall 2020. All right. So I just wanted to give you some information, keep you updated about what's going on in the community. Once again, if you have any questions about credit, about grants, about home loans, buying or selling, you can definitely contact me at the information that I will give at the end of this video. So once again, until next time, my name is Shondra, and remember, small steps turn into big steps that turn the key to your new home. God bless.